So Newt Gingrich has decided that he's a little better man, that he didn't get any position with Donald Trump. So he's going to say, well, look, come on, man. When you're talking about draining the swamp, they don't really mean it anymore. Damn, we got a little bit of drums. Go ahead, Newt.
Yeah, I'm told he now disclaims that. He now says it was cute, but he doesn't want to use it anymore. That he's in a different role now. And maybe he feels that as president, as the next president of the United States, that he should be marginally more dignified than talking about alligators and swamps.
Yeah. So, and remember, Newt's tiny bit on the warpath recently when talking about another move that Trump made. He famously said,
I think it's weird.
He said that about Trump. Okay. Oh, man. Somebody wanted to be Secretary of State and they didn't get it. Now, Trump is not to be reckoned with, okay? So he's very angry about this, so he sent a tweet. He tweeted, someone incorrectly stated the phrase, drain the swamp was no longer being used by me. Actually, we will always be trying to DTS. Now, when Trump sends a tweet, I laugh. Who cares? I get it, he's president-elect, and I hope he doesn't send any about China or anything that matters. But when it's this internal squabbling, it's all fun and games. But not for Republicans. They take it very seriously because he is the alpha male, right? So what does Newt have to do? He has to do this. Oh no, he's going to unman himself. This is going to be great. So first the tweet, he says, I goofed. Draining the swamp is in. Trump is going to do it. And the alligators should be worried. Hashtag DTS. But it gets better. We have a video that goes along with it. By the way, before I get to the video, let me just say, Newt was originally right. Yeah, there's no draining of the swamp. He put a bunch of Goldman Sachs. The whole campaign, he railed against Goldman Sachs. He's like, oh my God, these guys. He literally said that Ted Cruz was owned by Goldman Sachs and so was Hillary Clinton. It's not like it was symbolic. He mentioned that company itself. Now he's got 4 people from Goldman Sachs in his administration and in his cabinet, including the Treasury Secretary, let alone all the other lobbyists and multinational corporation CEOs and all the people that ever wanted anything from the government. He stacked his cabinet with them. So Newt was originally right, but it doesn't matter because the alpha male sent a tweet. So now you're going to get Newt just humiliating himself. Watch.
I want to report that I made a big boo-boo. I talked this morning with President-elect Donald Trump, and he reminded me. He likes draining the swamp. I mischaracterized it the other day. He intends to drain the swamp. He even describes it as DTS. He thinks taking on Boeing and the price is an example of draining the swamp. And so I want all of you to know, I goofed. Draining the swamp is in. The alligators should be worried. And you'll hear me write more about alligators and the swamp. But I thought I owed it to all of the folks who follow me that when I make a mistake, I'm going to be straightforward and tell you, I blew that one. Draining the swamp is in. President-elect Trump wants to do it, and you're going to get to be part of it.
Oh, that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh, man. How does it feel to have no testicles left? He looked like a chastened child there. I made a big boo-boo. I'm sorry. Don't hit me again. My name is Reek. It also looked like a hostage video. Yeah, no, I definitely made a mistake. A big boo-boo. We're still draining the swamp. DTS. We're down to swamp. Okay. Oh God. What are you guys doing? Why are you humiliating yourself like this? Newt, you didn't get the job. Move on with your life. At least preserve a tiny bit of your dignity instead of just humiliating yourself like this nationally. Again, we know that he's right, not just because of what I'm saying, certainly, but because of the evidence. Look at his cabinet. You guys can see for yourself. I mean, the guy talking about, George Soros, this, George Soros, that. His Treasury Secretary worked for George Soros. Okay, I'm not the one upset about that. If you're a Trump voter, you're the one who should be upset about that. Okay, but we have further evidence. Corey Lewandowski, who used to be his campaign manager initially, and who's still very much connected to the campaign, went on national TV and basically said, drain the swamp. Low priority, low energy. Watch.
Look, I think if you had to put them in a chronological order, drain the swamp is probably somewhere down the bottom as opposed to getting tax reform done, making sure middle class people have more jobs, making sure we're renegotiating our bad trade deals, ensuring that we're fixing Obamacare, repairing and replacing that and putting in something new. I think at the end of the day, it's about the economy. It's about creating jobs. It's about fixing the bad trade deals. So draining the swamp is a larger narrative, but what it's really about is putting people back to work.
Oh, all of a sudden not draining the swamp. It's even low priority. We've got a lot of low energy around that issue. Hey, swamp, you're back in. Come back in. Man, you've been had. You've been took. You've been swindled. They ain't going to drain no swamp. They are the swamp. Now, I know I make too much of this, but go back and watch the video. I love Kilme's reaction. Like, when he's like, draining the swamp's a low priority. Even Kilme's like, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, man. If you thought a Hillary Clinton, Democratic Party, and the Republican Party establishment were corrupt, wait till you get a load of Donald Trump.